Nova Scotia Gambia Association, commonly referred to as NSGA, is an international charitable non-governmental organization focused on health education and promotion. Over the years, NSGA has, through the support of UNICEF and key partners, implemented projects aimed at addressing communal health challenges in all regions of the Gambia.
Ofudi benguan andu doctor wawana kada andi doctor wawana simambe ma open after hen ko doctor hali on e hada kuman tewle de e bi mami wi mama bebe.
For what is close to 4 decades, NSGA has engaged local communities on healthcare awareness and educational improvement initiatives that improve lives and livelihood of youths, adolescents, children, and women.
This project started with a country program of the UN agencies from 2017 to 2021, a 5-year country program, and NSGA was selected to become a partner in the country program. There was a micro-assessment that was done on the organization back in 2016. Because of that, we have been recommended to be able to lead a consortium of civil society organizations. And that is what led to the formation of the consortium and NSGA taking the lead in the consortium to take the oversight role of the grant.
Alkalola diamo senende bagara ko ngana nyola mo jusola nganyola mo ni hakilola kata nyimo hakilima bengolti.
The funding started with a pilot phase of $18 million, and then we moved to the first phase of the funding to a tune of $24 million. Then we are in the current phase, which is the second phase, to a tune of $42 million. So it started in 2018. Then 2019 for phase 1, and 2020, 2021 for phase 2.
NSGA, as the lead consortium of the 7 consortiums, has 2 major activities that they use to implement the project, which is the magnet theater. Magnet theater is like a form of interaction between the drama troopers and the community members. It's a form of engagement or dialogue. So basically what we do is to have people perform a drama or a play in which they will address social issues like the harmful traditional practices, FGM, child marriage, and we have people from the community, the spec actors, that usually come up the stage to express their feelings, their thoughts on the problem that is the FGMC and child marriage that is presented to them.
Honno jeyirteɗa e théâtre he woni min mi arat mi daro hakkunde waɗoɓe théâtre ɓe o onon jamaɓe wonɓe jentade ne woodi lamde ɗe anduɗa mi namdoto jama on fof mo kala haala miijo muɗum haala sikke muɗum haala honno yeeri théâtre oɗo no yarini siko an wonno mamirawo suka debbo oɗo e théâtre walla siko an wonno babirawo oɗo suka debbo e théâtre an ko honno mijiriɗa walla an ko honno sikkirɗa walla an ko honno hakkilma jonnuma walla an ko honno yiɗɗa waye walla siko an wonno ɗo honno wayata
nof oɗo alijanna debbo ha wallahi ko les teppe gendum ɗo ɗum woni kono an Allah wurama han wallu ko ni mbaɗa alijanna mamo ni anan ma ɗum mi ringamo ring
ngin karo be mbul jele ay mentinya dino kono fa ay mentinya hadamaya kono lafta nga fello woto baake min salon ko jannimbe sembo tala akko kono ka fuka ajareta le nga sembo taje nsiwolom
mawbe be baraka ko dum be dambita kono joni ko kaliso rek a jarama. Thank you very much, Baba.
This is actually refers to as the traditional communicators. The reason why we are working with these traditional communicators, we believe that they are locally based people, they are within the community and they are part of the community. And then they are very, very influenced when it comes to sending messages to their own community people. We believe that they are staying in the community, they are working with them for so long, and then they know each other. If you go back to the community, they have their own setup. They call them Sate Kafo, Tole Kafo, whatsoever. So that is the name given to them. But in our terms, we call them traditional communicators, because they communicate in their traditional ways, in their own methods, to make sure send information and spread information to these people, and then people will get the information, and then the information will be very relevant, and then it will be at the right, it will work in the right direction or the right channel. These traditional communicators, whenever we have a project that has to deal with something that we wanted them to know, we go meet them, meet their leader, because every group has a leader. We meet their leader, we tell them that this is the concept that we have. We have this drama, we want to train your people. We want you and your people to be trained on this so that you also help us in the advocacy. And then they are always, I will say, willing to send in these messages to their people, because they are happy also to be recognized in the community. So the reason why they send the information and then people get these messages and then it does not have any breakdown, or whenever they send messages, people are well okay with it, because they do it with passion. They know that we are talking to our fellow community members, and these are community people that we are living with. They know us, so anything that we are communicating to them, let us communicate the relevant issues, let us communicate the important issues, and then they also do it with passion. So that is why if you train them once, you went back to rehearse with them, if you come, you will find it perfect, because they are almost used to it, and then they are ready to send out the message. That is why they do it perfect. These are people that we believe they understand the message, because they have, and then they have the message. Whenever you talk to these traditional communicators about FGMC and child marriage, the problem that it can cause to the individual, they always have fact, because they will relate a story that has happened in the community and to whom it has happened to. They will say, we did not know that it's because of child marriage and FGMC, but we know somebody that is going through this problem, or somebody that is facing these challenges, but we don't know that it's because of this, it's because of the result of early marriage and FGMC. So when you tell them, this is the reality, this is the fact, it's because of FGMC and child marriage, that is why this particular individual is going through this challenge. They will now tell you, then we are ready to join hands with you and work in the positive behavioral change of our community people, because we are living in the community, we know the community people, we are also going to advocate for them to know, on the whole, the problems so and so and so are facing is as a result of this, and then they are 100% willing to participate in the positive behavioral change of their community and even the surrounding at large.
Premise on the fact that societal attitude and approach on factors affecting health and wellness cannot be realized without traditional communicators. NSGA relies on the quintessential role of the traditional communicators in disseminating key health awareness information across all facets of the society.
kenne ya nyontala wala ka sima ya jampandi nati wala ka bae data kenne ya sabatindi moye
In every region of the Gambia is a key lieutenant with the designation of a regional coordinator responsible for implementation of all activities by NSGA. In light of these operations, NSGA equips in every society. It engages youth and women educators who serve as resource persons, referral agents, and role models for their people by providing positive, interactive, and empowering knowledge, skills, and resources to make healthy decisions.
We have a regional team in all the regions in the Gambia. So this regional team, which is headed by the regional coordinator, so they're the one who set the pace for us when we go to the field. So they dialogue with the influential or the leaders of the community, like the alcalo, the VDCs, that is the VDC chairperson, women's leader, children representative, and youth representative. They bring together these people and then let them know that we will be willing to sensitize or educate or enlighten their community members on FGMC and child marriage, and they will highlight which of these harmful traditional practice is mostly prevalent in their community or in their region.
But we work with traditional communicators because we cannot do it alone. We need the people to work with us. And now we have to go down to the villages and meet with the alcalo. After meeting the alcalo, that is what we call as courtesy call. And when you call, they give you your go ahead, and from there you can now talk to them. It's not easy though. We know FGMC is a deep-rooted culture. It has been practiced here long way ago, and we come in with this dimension to say that we're going to be part of it in making sure that we eradicate FGMC. We need to go down to the villages. In doing that, it's not easy to convince them, but we just take a look at the Peace Corps. When they want something, they go down to the level of that community to be with them. So that is dimension I will look at and know that this one, if the Peace Corps can agree, they come from all the way from a foreign land coming to the Gambia. What about me myself, who is a native, or in this Gambia here? Can't I also do the same thing and then win the mind of my people, which is my motherland here, the Gambia?
Ina tan walin janto alkan kila kan badia kan ni sinyo ya kan puru kana kampru nisi kacha isin hakli mayandi fana yo nadar mendim bembuli silla fa hakilo la sama men sim be na fa atike banko yirwot atikentel be nyaato tade ina ku dalilo mu walati yom bana mbela moyla hakilo la mbanta jusuk atekela jusukuti de mo kana jusibo mo kana kampa kuma jaw kana moda moy besi lamoy hakilo la doro yekumo lamoy ya kese diwul tombo walam daliloti me ya kendi na taja walam sali ala mama ye bismillah ala ya aninkila.
You start by telling them, oh, I think we cherish certain cultures in our mix here, especially if it is a Maninga community. That's how you go by with them. Fullers, you go by with them. That's how we do. Then you come to talk to them about, but do you also know that in all this, how to call it again, in all these ceremonies that we're doing, what is the most common one that you do? They say, hey, this is what we do. Some will even tell you this is what we do. Some will mention FGMC, and once they mention FGMC, they mention also marriage. You tell them, at what age do you send your girl at marriage? They will tell you the age. You also tell them, FGMC, have you find out whether there is health implication in it or not? They will tell you, some of them will tell you, no, there is no health implication in this because we have been doing it for long and we haven't seen any health implication regarding this. So what you have to tell them is that in those days, research were not made. No one has been conducting research. And if a child who died during the process of FGMC, what do we associate it with? Witchcraft. And that's how people have been living. But you cannot tell me that most children have not died. They will tell you, yes, they died. At the end of the day, when you come to compile, you should tell them now, according to research, this is what research has been shown, that FGMC has a lot of implication, negative implication in the life of the girl child, ranging from before you get married, menstruation also to acquire a lot of problem. Because when you're doing menstruation, we don't always stop at cutting, do we? Some will tell you that, no, we don't stop at there. We do what Maninga will say, notoro, that is sealing. So once they seal, they only leave a small portion for menstrual flow to come out and then urine. So in that, when day 3 of your menstruation, you see that the bleeding come along with clots, and those clots have to force out to come out, they cannot come out. So you see, so you experience some pain. But what our parents normally tell us? They tell us that, bear it, you are just a female. Once you get married, it will be over. Why are they telling you this? Because the day they hand you hand in marriage, they have to go and remove the ceiling. And when the ceiling is removed, now the place is open. You can have sexual intercourse normally at the end of the day also. When I see the next menstruation, it will come smoothly.
As a nurse in the health facility, most of the time we experience a lot of issues when it comes to FGM. One of the issues are during childbirth, as I said. During childbirth, you have a lot of difficulties during when these women undergo treatment, when these children undergo delivery and labor. So one example is if they go on the delivery, they find it very difficult to deliver because what you've cut out, serve a very instrumental role in ensuring that a woman delivers. So when it is away, when it is out, it delays labor. And when it delays labor, this as a result will also lead to a lot of things. One example might be a delayed birth, that is prolonged labor, or it also result to maybe cesarean section because of the prolonged labor, and as well also it affects the woman, or because the woman must have a tear one way or the other, So this as a result cause a lot of hemorrhage, that is loss of blood during labor. So it is in no way in line with medical practices. Women are at risk of having fistula. As I said, the cutting of this clitoris, as a result, if you look at the vagina, it's in a plastic nature, elastic nature. So when it is cut out, most of the time, women find it difficult to pass these babies through, and as a result, it will lead to tears. So this tear, as a result, if it does not go on the side, instead goes downward, it will have to link with the anus, and then they are that hole, or that they are going to see each other. So when it sees each other, this is where you have the fistula occurring. So you see the feces at any time. You cannot it is incontinent. You cannot contain it, and then it comes out all the time. Anytime it feels like coming out. So as a result, fistula becomes a lot of problem. So psychological complications, of course, these women, as a result of them having this fistula, it results to a lot of psychological complication problems. So as a woman, you were not like this, and so unfortunately, this happens to you. At the end of the day, after childbirth and everything, seeing you away, and when you get up, people seeing you, behind, being stained and everything. So people try to point at you, discriminate you, and put you on another line that you don't belong to. So as a result, these women try to be traumatized, with what they are not the real cause of.
Mamuta aja, anenga batamin taki. Stilis saba, mbelevo, matingura mawulu. Stilis saba. Ko ya gente, yayo, nina ko bombala. Mala mo ngente. F fat. Dal mutoni kabuka moto tambuka moto. Beka bombona to ha mali hani musu yaka bata kensa sakantu mani man si futu wala yedundi futu bunkon. Andi yaje kanyin taman sero me yitandi tay. Ika fanyine fistula. Fistula muna wati fistula nyi musa sati me ya lonka ka musolle muta sakantu musu dindingol mele ya lonko isio man si futula yeta ye futu ndike dundi futu bunkon. Ni yedundi futu bunkon anno futu kata dawo dan ka yilla men wolon jido. Mo jidi wato kitani sike moti mele ya lonko ka bata pake jido kon komite ya fanya mentendo.
The type 3, that is where you cut both the labias and then the clitoris, and then try to seal the vaginal opening to a limit. You understand? So this limit, as a result, only allow the urine or the menstrual blood to pass. Okay. So as a result, when these women got married, they have to come for the infibulation. So this infibulation, because we call that the infibulation. So if you want to defibrillate that, they have to come to the facility, or a skilled person have to do that. So when they come, most of the time we do that and then tear them up. So this, as a result, if you don't go and have contact during that time, it's going to go back, and the same pain. Like I gave them an example. The example was like when you put salt in water and then pour it on a fresh wound, how it affects, how it pains. This is the same thing when that woman goes out to have contact with the man. This is the pain, equal or more to the pain that the salt water will have on the fresh wound. So this affects a lot.
So ikajele ko hanu tingo kola
ika men foten ko jala muto ni kan muto tambo ka sari ika sila doro iki fango je ila fengol bebe sinandi fengol be fintile bara mel ya lon ko e serol mandia ñun ndun nata ke fenti me ya lon ko liya ko lon jama mun kana mol soto wala mo ini ñing kol katara sirin su wala kono ibike la ko ñi comme ka wuli ka jararo bunda wali ka jararo ñi ya tara fanan atantu no ñin problème mo dam man sa fala alhamdulillah bara aja kabrin dunta ñu futu bu aja man kayro su lolum problème mo ke ma be jan du ko be sier mbi nta dan sa fu ko kabrin dunta ñu bunkon telam bu no jomati
mi jangi no dum kono mi jangi kadi hande hari mi yejjiti goɗɗi ɗin kono hande mi anditiɗi mi noddaɗo mitiŋaji jeɗɗi mi andi mi yejjita e goɗɗi ɗi kono hande mi anditiɗi hande mi anditiɗo ko heewi caɗele noon no woodi gonga Aissata Touré ŋamane ɓen no heewi woɓɓe janggay ɓe waɗata no waɗete sabu hay min wuuri debbo police ari ko am ko ɗo wonno kono joni mi anda on ɗo debbo police ari ko am kono nde yimomi tan komi kelluta o moƴƴumi hunduko wimi wimi ayi ko gonga ko ɓe wiyata.
If you looked at child marriage to start with, we understand child marriage has create a lot of difficulties for our girl childs in our societies. But by using the law to combat this crime, we all understand, if you look at section 24 of the Children's Amendment Act 2016, that talks about the prohibition of child marriage. If you looked at subsection A, B, C, and D, that says any person who contracted a marriage between a child and an adult commit an offense, being it the parents, the guardians, whosoever involves, even the imam who contracted that marriage, the alcalo, the village, or any elderly person in the community who contracted that marriage between a child and an adult, commit an offense. And that offense, if found wanting or guilty, you are liable to an offense or a jail term of 20 years imprisonment. So this is the penalty attached to it. So that means child marriage, this is something that the government is playing with. This is something that the law is not even taking it lightly with all the perpetrators who are involved. And it is also trying to protect the victims of child marriage.
Ko atilim hari nena no wuri o wi watami accu Aissata Touré yehi ha galle amen benno andi galle amen ɓe wi nenan accu o wi naɓeylan kaso kono mi accata komi tawɗo mi accata tanan so goɗɗo mayirila ara nelan naɓon kaso o wi min miɗo wawi komi muynu ha no mayiri ni hay goto mayirani hay goto nawnirani min kan noon gila fuɗɗima heeɓi joni duuɓi nogas hay goto addanani lan probléme hande nenan maayi o wi lan sa acci mi yafanaki nde Aissata Touré en ari ɓe wi lan ha nenema maayi amme wawete wimi eyi.
The other point that is the issue of FGMC, that is female genital mutilation or cutting. And we also understand that it is happening in the societies. We believe and knows that people are doing it secretly, don't want people to be aware of it. Yes, but we still have people in the society who are ready to give us these information, because it is said in our laws that every good citizen is a police officer. And we tell the communities that wherever you know, wherever you go, there are police officers in your communities, whether knowing or unknowingly. So people are willing, because our rapport with them in the community, they are able to give us this information that when they see some of these crimes happening in our societies. So there are laws that are defending the issue of FGMC. In December 2015, the Women's Act of 2010 was amended. So that act in 2016, that is what prohibits female circumcision. If you go to section 32 of the female circumcision, of the Women Amendment Act, prohibit female circumcision. That is to say, subsection A says, if any person who contributed to that female circumcision, that is, whether you are the one who contributed financially or you supported when the discussion was happening to have a meeting for that female circumcision, whether you contributed, whatever contribution that you do, you as a person, whether it's the Ngansimbas who do the cutting, whether it's the nurses or the doctors who participate in that success of that female circumcision, commit an offense. And the police, we also do our investigations. Then anybody who is found wanting, then commit an offense, and we arrange them before the court. And if you found wanting or you pleaded guilty at the court, you will serve a jail term of 3 months or a $50,000 fine. But again, you can also pay the $50,000 fine again, and at the same time you go and serve the 3 months in prison. So these are some of the laws that are protecting female circumcision or FGMC in our country, and also child marriage of the Women's Amendment Act 2015 and the Children's Amendment Act 2016.
If we want to combat FGMC and child marriage in the Gambia, we need to have approaches that will be sustainable. So far, all our partners that we are working with have laid down a foundation in which in the future others that will come in will also be able to continue from where they start, and it will also leave an impact on the people's mind that they are targeting. So my overall view of the project is that the project is really making an impact, positive impact in the community, because sometimes when we even go to the field, we realize that people come up to us and then they will tell us that, oh, I never knew that FGMC is illegal and this is the consequences attached to the practice. Or some of them will even come up and say, okay, so I never knew that fistula and maternal deaths are connected to FGMC and child marriage, and this is why we have been continuing this practice. But since you guys came here, you enlightened us, you educated us about all these things that have been happening, we have realized that all these are connected to our harmful traditional practice that we are currently doing. We realize that these cultures, these traditions, they are deeply rooted, but we have hope that in the future, maybe in the next generation, that all these practices will be totally eradicated from the Gambia, because this is really affecting national development.
Luau yomen jokku luau ɗum mi yamirɓe miɗo torotoɓe noon mi toroɓe sabi Allah ko nangumi ɗo yo ɓe nangu ɗum ɓe acca ɓe no metti accude goy simi wi ɓe ɗo no metti accude saabu woɓɓe immoto ɗo yaha ɓuura ɓe aranayla mi inna ɓe hey onon kadi so goɗɗo dogi on dogi ko haalan ɗo lan ɗo ko mi jooɗike mi inni on mi acci joni noon ha hande hiɗon jokkila woɓɓe mi waɗanaynoɓe de ɓay wona yomi suuɗo kono siɓe wi hiɓe duumade an tan mi salo men sonka ayi o debbo idiɗo haalude wi acce waɗoɓe ɓe waɗa o ari ko andi ko yoni laabi 4 min mi watta